I saw it was in Intox Remastered in China when Puma did it against Hazu
Oh,
on Shattered
but
Temple.
Puma did it at Gamescom too.
No, I guess who?
It was on shattered close air positions. He floated the factory over. It was
Yeah.
against, who was that against?
Mana, I guess, because he lost or because that's the only games I didn't cast at Gamescom because you were casting with Soccer.
Oh, yeah, we had the same conversation during the Hasu game in China, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay, man. Basic math and history,
Yeah.
not your strongest points. Short-term
What can I
memory,
say, man?
long-term memory.
I just don't have that Rotterdam brain power, bro.
It's okay. You've got the looks, man.
Simple things.
You've got the looks.
Simple things.
You've got the accent. You're able to speak this language. Yeah, well, for me, you have an accent.
I've just got more years of practice, dude.
I'm not too sure. We learn English on a very young age, like 8th grade on elementary school. So you're like,
you know when I started learning English?
9 or 10 years old. Do you know that in the Netherlands, actually, like this is completely off topic and completely irrelevant, but before this game really kicks off, a lot of Dutch parents are raising their children right now while talking English to them as soon as they're like even like 2 or 3 years old, by hoping that their English will get a lot better. I know, I find it really odd when I'm at the Dutch supermarket and like 2 Dutch parents are talking Dutch to each other, but then they start talking to the baby and they start talking in English.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, man, that's too much. Give the child a break. He's 2 years old.
I would like to, when I have kids, I want to raise my kids to speak another language, but I got to learn one first.
That could be quite a problem.
Just hire like a Chinese nanny and be like, okay, nanny, you're only allowed to speak Chinese to my kid. That'd be funny.
That would be cool though if you speak Chinese. That's very, very valid. Anyway, we see Strelok right now. Obviously, he did throw down that barracks and he's mining gas already from this refinery.
Look at Strelok's scouting pattern. He scouts top right and then he's going to scout all the way across map. I wonder why he does it like that.
Perhaps because he thinks that if he scouts right top and Gated scouts at 12 as well, and Gated would spawn over here, then the probe and SCV would meet each other over here. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Maybe. I don't know. I suppose it makes more sense than any of the ideas I have. So.
On the other hand, maybe he just saw that the probe already arrived from Gated in the main base, and he figured that it would be unlikely that Gated spawned over here. I don't know. I don't think that is really too much to look into. Some players just like to
scout. Yeah, not really a big deal at the end of the day. It looks like we're going to have a Reaper opening. No, it's Escalator Marauder. With concussive on Taurim Altar, a really long map. I'm not so sure that I like that.
He might actually just try to build a factory once again, but I guess that's not going to work right now because the Zealot is going to spot this SCV. So no proxy factory this time for Strelok.
Yes, indeed.
It's just it's a one Rex add-on into Command Center, so it's a very common build. It's a nice build because the Terran. I mean, you can bring 1 or 2 SCVs. You can make sure that if there's a Nexus here or not. If there is one, then you know. If there's not one, then you're going to be like, okay, well, then I know that I'm going to have to be very careful. These units can still enter here. And for any kind of Protoss opening, like 2 Marauders with concussive shells and Marines and 2 SCVs, is scary.
Yeah,
that's
good against any sort of Stalker.
Oh, the Reaper as
anything.
Well. I like that move.
So he's going to add in that Reaper, yeah. Reaper in the back, Marauders in the front. That's really annoying. Also really, really super noteworthy is the version of this map has that low ground still between the 3rd and the main base, which means a Reaper can pop in there, which is...
And how it should be, of course.
Well, I mean, they took it out of the ladder recently.
Yeah, but that's stupid.
It was originally made without that low ground by the Korean mapper.
Yeah, I know, but I think it's fine. It was a good addition.
I don't like the low ground. I think it's dumb.
Okay, Ben, it's dumb. So we see Strelok right now arriving at Gated's natural expand. He will scout that Nexus. I think actually he's going to be a little bit careful right now because his push was delayed quite a bit, unless he's just still waiting for the Reaper, which I guess he is. And let's see how Gated is going to respond to this. He's actually having a Stalker in the back of his base as well. Really loving that move right now, Ben.
That's
he's going to have 1
smart.
Zealot, 2 Stalkers over here, and he's going to spot that Reaper straight on. Really good job right there by Gated.
Oh, very, very nice. I'm so impressed that he managed to do that. Showing some absolutely top-level play.
I mean, those minor things, which are also important, because if that Reaper sneaks in, sees those 2 gates, takes down 2 probes, it's such a massive victory for Strelok. And right now, none of that happened. So, yeah, really good job, Gated.
Absolutely, man. Gated has really earned a lot of respect from me here at this tournament.
Man, he beat Dongre-gu, of course.
Oh, I mean, even like you said, in these little things that he's doing, Strelok now getting a little bit of a lag spike.
That's
a little bit unfortunate. So.
Fortunately, we can just continue the game. No biggie. Hopefully, the players are not really suffering from lag either. But I talked to a couple of them, and it seemed to be all quite okay.
Yeah, if I know anything about Strelok, I know that if the lag gets a little bit annoying, he'll pause.
I knew that the game sounds were quite low as well, guys. That is, of course, the Reaper actually sneaked into the natural expand. Did not manage to kill a single probe.
Yep. Nice control by Gated, pulling that probe back at the last second.
what I tried to say is that on a setup like this, we have a main stage and a side stage. Right now, we are casting on the side stage, and it's basically I'm handling the setup myself. And the settings are always a little bit different from every event, so the sound settings are not always the same. So it always takes a while for me to figure out the right microphone settings and the right sound settings.
Yep.
So
Keep sending feedback. We'll get it exactly perfect.
Yeah.
Here eventually. So Gator's going to go straight to Robo. So I would imagine that means he's going to play Colossus at least for a little while.
Yeah, it would make a lot of sense. Colossus opening. I'm curious to see if he's like really committing to those Colossus, you know, get the Turbulence, get 3-4 Colossus out, or if he's going to pull what I like to call a Sasa, even though, like, of course, more players did it. But I really love the build that Sasa displayed already several times in European tournaments, where he goes like one Colossus without Turbulence, and the Terran player responds like double Starport, double Reactor, you know, it makes 8 Vikings, and then Sasa has High Templars already. I really like that move. And actually, Gated is throwing down double forts, man.
Ah, interesting. I'm more impressed with Strelok, though, who's at 54 supply, but look at that. Bam, double depot finishing up.
Strelok just has to get supply.
Taking it to the next level. So this time only supply block for a couple of seconds.
I'm really glad you paid attention to it, because this is just trademark Strelok, man. Strelok's lucky number must be 54.
Whoa, Warp Prism, and it gets canceled. So second observer instead. So I was getting excited, but
yeah, I saw it as well in the production tab.
But no more. So it will be double upgrades and gateway units.
You know, it's curious to see, like, both of these guys are kind of playing like how I always played as well regarding supply management. You know, always try to get, like, not spend too much money, not use $300 million on pylons when one pylon could be enough all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, the problem is that every time you screw up a little bit, you're going to be supply capped.
Yeah.
And I was talking with a very good player about this, but I actually completely forgot who it was. And he told me, perhaps it was Saz even, I don't know. And he said that the Koreans, as soon as they pass like 70, 80 supply, they always have like a 30 supply buffer.
Yeah.
And that's how they play. And I guess it makes a lot more sense than trying to play perfect all the time. Because, yeah, it's just inevitable that you are going to supply cap yourself now and then.
That's actually how Rhett told me to play. He said always maintain a 20 supply cushion when you're playing against anybody. I hear, oh, it's Destructible Rocks. I was like, what in the world is all that noise? Warp Prism is actually on the way now for Gatored. Twilight Council also about to finish up, so we will be seeing probably, I don't know, Charge first maybe? He's not making many Stalkers, so I would think it's going to be Charge first.
Yeah, that would make sense. I mean, Thor's always safe as well, certainly when you don't have Colossus yet. And that seems to be the case. So, yeah, he opened Robo just for the Observers, which is no biggie, of course. But this first push is always a scary push, I think. Certainly, I mean, he's actually going to open up with Blink. Man, I really feel the timings are a bit off. Because normally you get Blink. Blink should be ready by the time that the first drop comes. And that's going to take quite a while. Taking a look at this army, I don't know, man. I'm really a bit worried for Gated.
I think Charge would have been a lot better against what Strelok's showing us here. Big gateway. I'm sorry, big
look at this Strelok drop, man. He's going to drop the Hero Marine.
One Marine is going to force.
He's going to drop Muscles Glasses.
Muscles Glasses is not long to this world, bro. I think Muscles Glasses is the pilot because he just got the hell out of there. A couple of Zealots being dropped in the main base of Strelok. Unfortunately, that Warp Prism died to a turret. So slightly sloppy there by Gatored. Doesn't really kill too many SCVs. I think a grand total of 7 SCVs dying. One, I'm sure, was 1 or 2 were probably scouts. So really nothing being lost there by Strelok. Supply is very, very even. Worker count favoring Protoss a little bit, but Strelok's going to have the faster third base.
And now Gator is actually throwing up that robotics base, so he's really confusing, well, not only me, but he has to confuse Strelok a lot as well, because I don't know, if I was Strelok right now, the last thing I would think about is that we're actually going to have Colossus on the field soon. When you see all those gates, when you see all those Zealots on the field already.
Yeah, I'm right there with you there, Kev. Like the whole order in which Gatored is teching up is a little bit unorthodox. I think everything Gatored does is a little bit unorthodox. This is not the kind of play that I'm really used to seeing just in general. Still, though, I mean, very, very even game right now. So, I mean, it's really impossible to say which way it's going to go. Gatored's going to have to secure a third, though, and I'm not really sure where he's going to take it. It stands to reason that he's going to want to take those destructible rocks down and expand there, but I think as soon as he does, Strelok's going to start attacking in more like 1 or 2 places at a time. That's going to be real tough to deal with.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to have charge now, though, so it's going to be a little bit easier. But I agree, and I also feel that his turn base is really quite late. I mean, Strelok already landing that command center right now. He's going to be mining from it soon. And I don't know, man. Normally, Protoss should be the one.
That Marine,
overkill.
He got so blown away. That was funny. His shoes like flew off there, man.
But normally, Yeah, you know, it should be Protoss always being like one tiny little step ahead until Terran does some damage with a drop or something. But it feels like Strelok has been ahead the entire game.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like what I consider really good PvT is a Protoss player who maxes out first, throws down a ton of gateways so that he can remax quickly, and do that whole song and dance. Whereas Strelok seems to be maintaining a strong macro lead over his opponent. He's going to probably max out first. I mean, he's got more money than he can even really spend right now, throwing down a couple more barracks. Supplies are basically even.
Actually, I must say, Gated did have very, very nice upgrades, though. I did not expect it. I actually thought he was only at 1-1, but he's at 2-2 already. So that actually makes a lot of sense. That makes sense why this was a little bit delayed. So I guess I can forgive him for that. But on the other hand, he's still going to have to get a fight where he really comes out victorious.
Yeah, he's going to need some really nice force fields. Those charge lots are going to need a really good engagement.
Yeah, but I feel if the bio army gets that big and Tal'Darim is not really a force field map, like at all. Like if there's one map which is bad for force fields, other than Terminus Re, but I would even say that on Terminus force fields are more useful. I would say the only possible moment where you can ever drop good force fields is here, which I've seen quite a lot in the past. But then again, if you look at his army, he barely has any range units. Yeah. So all those zealots, even if he drops really good force fields here, are going to storm to here, and the bio units in the back will still be able to fight.
Right.
So it's just, I don't know, man.
Now, to be completely fair, I think Strelok has no idea that Gators actually made a couple Colossi, so there's not going to be any Vikings at all. So that could work to Gators' benefit a little bit.
I like that Gator does have his stalkers spread out throughout. Actually, he had quite a few stalkers. They were just very, very spread out. So, but yeah, you're right on, Ben. That Colossus surprise, that could be trouble.
Supply blocks again is Gatored. So, as he's throwing down those last couple of pylons so that he can max out. Strelok has maxed out, so Strelok's going to be pushing here. With a completely maxed army, even manages to scan and take out an observer there.
Yes, Strelok really didn't scout all that much this game, and you can actually blame him a little bit for that, because these Colossus are really going to come as a complete surprise. He has a ton of ghosts, but there is not a single High Templar in the field yet. And I actually think that Gator should be able to massacre
Come on,
Strelok
Gator,
over
get a good engagement here. Gator is going to kind of jockey down into position here. This Viking is going to be like, oh.
Nice EMPs by Strelok.
Oh, really nice EMPs by Strelok. All the Sentry energy getting taken out. Now, Colossi are going to do what kind of damage they can. These Zealots
so many charge slots.
Doing pretty good, man. Oh, my gosh. Gator actually backing off for some reason.
There's a pretty big drop over here in the main base.
There it is. Good drop in the back. He's going to take out the robotics bay. Nice drop by Strelok. That's going to buy him a ton of time.
Yeah, he will take out that Pylon as well on pauses to gate. Blink, Blink. What? Defensive Blink?
Blinking back.
What?
Doesn't want to lose those Stalkers. Really needs to be taking out those Medivacs, as you were saying there, Kev. The Medivacs will fall. Supply is kind of swinging into favor of our Protoss player here, and Strelok is going to have to panic and hammer out as many Vikings as he can.
That was kind of inevitable because Strelok scouted so poorly. He had no idea about his Colossus, and he had a ton of Marauders, and what he was facing was like 35 to 40 charge slots with 3 or 4 Colossus behind it, and he had like 1 Viking in his army. So yeah, it was kind of clear that Gatorade was going to do really good, or Gatorade was going to do really well.
I laugh every time you say that.
What?
Gatorade.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm thirsty, so I think of Gatorade.
It just cracks me up, man. I can't help it. I just start giggling.
It's quite a you giggle a lot lately, man.
I got the giggles, bro.
There we go. So we have 2-2 upgrades for Strelok now as well. 3-2 is well on its way. He's actually going to have 3-2 during the next fight, and obviously he's going to have a decent Viking number. He already has 6 Vikings on the field, 2 more in production right now. But, I mean, Gated is really in this, man.
Yeah.
He has 3 upgrades.
Yeah, fully upgraded.
And he's going to get Archons now as well. He's even going to get those Plasma Shield upgrades. He has quite a few gates.
I think he needs to go, though, man. If he wastes too much time here, he's going to let Strelok get the exact army composition he needs. Right now, Gator's got a bit of a window.
Oh, the EMPs. He should spread out his units, and he is spreading them out.
Oh, Strelok actually realizing his peril, and he's going to back it up. 1 EMP completely whiffing there, only getting a couple of Zealots. Archon's in the back. He's not actually able to hit anything, but these Colossi.
What is he doing?
Doing a pretty decent job here. Strelok is running so much. Here comes the Zealots. Man, Gator is really beating Strelok back here.
Strelok is, Gator is not even using all of his units, but there's just a bunch of Stalkers left now. 2 Colossus left, but they're so low in HP. He could snipe them with 2 Marauders if he really wants to. But he's not able to. Offensive Blink by Gator, then he will be able to snipe off additional Marauders as well. And man, Gator didn't even use this Colossus and this Immortal. He just sent it north.
There's a big warp in somewhere. I'm not really sure where Gator is building his reinforcements.
Sounds like a watchtower.
Okay, here we go. So 167 supply for our Protoss player to the 134 dwindling supply of Strelok.
Gated tricked Strelok really, really nicely this game. Strelok with poor scouting really got punished for that. Lost a ton of units during that first engagement. And after that, Gated just had an incredible scary army. And those upgrades, man. Those upgrades.
Yeah, upgrades really paying off a lot. But 3-3 or 3-2 is done for Strelok. Now Shields on the way for our Protoss player.
So many High Templars. Where does he get the gas from?
It's from making only Zealots for so long. It looks like Gator's finally ready to go for it. There's a bunch of bunkers here for Strelok, so that's going to help out some, but there's so many Protoss units.
Oh, that's such a scary Protoss army as well. We have Colossus, we have Archons, we have Immortals. Man, a couple of really beautiful EMPs again, though, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough, even though Strelok is doing really good so far.
Yeah, Strelok controlling this pretty well. A couple of Colossi hitting a turret and not the army. That's not what you want, but Strelok continuing to be pounded back here.
That blink, I'm not sure about that blink. He's losing a lot of stalkers in the process.
Here come the Archons. Colossi continuing to be really effective. A lot of SCVs dying there. The last Colossus will fall, but Strelok all the way down to 75 supply. Gator's going to take this game, Kev.
Gator is going to take this game. He has that Nexus now as well on the 9 o'clock, so even if he somehow doesn't win the game right now, he already has a backup plan. He has that new base up and running. A lot of Marauders popping out though, and SCVs helping in as well. That definitely helps out quite a bit.
Yeah, but those Immortals, man, making such short work of the Marauders. More Zealots are going to stream in. Strelok's going to lose all of his production here. 61 supply for the Terran player, says GG.
Nice.
Ties up the series 1-1, and Kevin,
tight.
I have got to say, I am so impressed with these North American players.
Man, they're giving a really good show, even though I do have a little bit of sad news for you right now, because Dignitas Killer, I think that, Dignitas is Killer, just managed to beat Altero 2-0. So that puts Dignitas Killer in a very good position. I'm not sure if he's 100% advanced, but he's 2-0 in his group at least.
Wow.
Because he beat Show in the first round.
That's right, 2-1 over Show.
Altero is 1-1 right now, since he did manage to beat the Korean Killer, but unfortunately he was not able to deal with the Chile killer.
What in the world, man? These are not the results that I was expecting to be coming in here. I know Dignitas Killer is a good Zerg player. He's a good Zerg player, but I mean, maybe I just don't give the guy enough credit. We're seeing some really, really nice results out of the North American players.
Yeah, no, they're really surprising.
Really
it's
nice
cool.
results here.
And I mean, Gators as well, like beating Dongregu, and even though we all know that's, or at least I want to go like that, but
now Killer played the other Killer and lost. Oh wait, we already said that. Never mind. Just disregard me, man. I'm sorry. Sorry. Go ahead.
Actually we didn't say that. Yeah, we casted Killer versus Killer. Yeah. So, but he's Dignitas
Killer
Killer
versus
is 2-1
Killer, and Killer won, and then Killer lost.
So Dignitas Killer is 2-1 in his group right now. It all depends on what's going on between Show and the other Killer. I would love to show that game to you guys, but on the other hand, I would love to show Dongregu against Strifeco as well. I mean, I know how many Dongregu fans are out there.
And
so
that's a huge game.
Yeah.
Like Dongregu favored to win the tournament. If he loses to Strifecrow, is out.
I actually I had the call on that one.
What? Are you kidding me?
And Ben, I did something that you didn't expect of me. I could choose between.
You picked the ZVZ.
I picked the ZVZ.
Man.
Just because I know that so many people out there want to watch Dongregu. Strifeco as well, of course. Strifecrow, I should say, is a really entertaining player. And I would really love to show against Killer as well, but I had no choice. They asked me to choose. And yeah, everybody knows I'm slightly biased towards Protoss point of view, but I know there are so many Dongregu fans out there, and I'm a little Dongregu fan myself, so I want to watch that game.
I'm a Dongregu fan also. Like, there was a time when I was actually really critical of Dongregu for being one-dimensional and only doing, one thing, and